How does a man who was once bankrupt as a child end up creating one of the most luxurious car brands in the world? What if I told you that Rolls-Royce, a name now synonymous with wealth, was born from poverty and failure? By the end of this video, you'll discover how one man turned his misfortunes into a legacy of opulence. But let me ask you, can hardship really be the fuel for greatness? Stick around to find out. Chapter 1. A Childhood in Ruins. Henry Royce, the co-founder of Rolls-Royce, didn't grow up with silver spoons or grand opportunities. In fact, his childhood was anything but luxurious. Born in 1863, Royce came from a humble family. His father ran a flour mill, but after years of struggling, the business went bankrupt. The family was plunged into poverty, and Royce was forced to leave school at just 9 years old to start working. Think about that. A child already facing bankruptcy, working odd jobs just to survive. It seemed like the kind of story that could end there, with a boy crushed under the weight of family misfortune. But instead, this was the beginning of Royce's journey. He refused to be defined by his early struggles, and that determination would set the stage for one of the most prestigious brands in automotive history. But how does a child from a bankrupt family go from sweeping floors to designing the world's most luxurious cars? The path is full of surprising twists. Chapter 2. The Self-Taught Engineer. After years of working odd jobs, Royce eventually found employment as a railway apprentice, where he discovered his true passion, engineering. Despite his lack of formal education, Royce had a natural talent for understanding how things worked. He spent every free moment teaching himself about mechanics, electricity, and design, often working late into the night. But make no mistake, this wasn't some smooth climb to success. Royce faced setbacks, harsh working conditions, and many sleepless nights. Yet he didn't give up. He knew that mastering these skills would be his ticket out of poverty, and he was right. In 1884, with just 20 pounds to his name, Royce started his own electrical and mechanical business. It was here that his meticulous attention to detail began to shine. His motto, "Whatever is rightly done, however humble, is noble." But it wasn't his electrical business that would change his life forever. His true calling was waiting in the form of an unexpected partnership. Chapter 3. Meeting Charles Rolls. By the early 1900s, Royce's business had grown, but he had a new obsession: cars. After tinkering with his first motor vehicle and finding it subpar, Royce decided to build his own. And in 1904, he produced his first car, a 2-cylinder model that ran so smoothly, it caught the attention of a man named Charles Rolls. Rolls, a wealthy aristocrat and motoring enthusiast, was impressed by Royce's engineering prowess. The two men couldn't have come from more different worlds. Rolls was a Cambridge-educated blue blood, while Royce was a self-taught engineer from a poor background. But what they shared was a passion for perfection. Their partnership was born, and with it came the creation of Rolls-Royce Limited. Royce would focus on building the cars, while Rolls handled the business and sales side. Together, they had one mission: to create the best car in the world. But even with this dream team, Rolls-Royce faced significant challenges that could have driven the company into the ground. Chapter 4. Perfection at any cost. From the very beginning, Rolls-Royce was different. Royce's obsession with quality meant that no car would leave the factory unless it was perfect. He was so particular that he would personally test the cars himself, ensuring every part worked flawlessly. This commitment to excellence didn't come cheap. Rolls-Royce cars were expensive to make and profits were slim. At one point, the company's future looked uncertain. Building cars with such precision took time and money, and Royce's health began to deteriorate due to his relentless work ethic. But instead of cutting corners, Royce doubled down on his philosophy: no compromise on quality. This approach paid off when the Silver Ghost, a model introduced in 1907, was hailed as the best car in the world. The Silver Ghost wasn't just luxurious, it was reliable, setting records for durability and performance. This model cemented Rolls-Royce's reputation as a symbol of craftsmanship and luxury. But even with this success, tragedy struck the company. Could Rolls-Royce survive the loss of one of its founders? Chapter 5. The Loss of Charles Rolls. In 1910, just 6 years after founding the company, Charles Rolls tragically died in a plane crash, becoming the first Briton to be killed in an aviation accident. His death was a massive blow to Rolls-Royce, and many wondered if the company could survive without him. But Royce, ever the resilient figure, pressed on. His dedication to excellence continued, and the company not only survived but thrived. In fact, World War I brought new opportunities for Rolls-Royce as their engines were used in aircraft during the war, further establishing their reputation for reliability and precision. But even after Rolls' death and the challenges of war, the story of Rolls-Royce was far from over. The brand would soon become a global icon, representing the pinnacle of luxury and success. Chapter 6. Rolls-Royce, a Legacy of Luxury. After the war, Rolls-Royce expanded its influence, building luxury cars for royalty, celebrities, and the world's elite. The company became synonymous with elegance and wealth, a far cry from the humble beginnings of Henry Royce's childhood in poverty. The Rolls-Royce Phantom, introduced in 1925, became the most iconic luxury car in the world, solidifying the brand's place at the top of the automotive industry. And what's fascinating is how a child born into bankruptcy created a brand that symbolizes wealth. Henry Royce's life is a testament to the idea that it's not where you start, it's how hard you're willing to fight to reach the top. But how does a bankrupt child create one of the world's most luxurious brands? It wasn't just hard work. It was something much deeper. Conclusion: triumph over adversity. The story of Rolls-Royce is more than just a tale of luxury cars. It's a story of resilience, determination, and the relentless pursuit of perfection. Henry Royce turned his early misfortunes into motivation, creating a legacy that continues to define the very concept of luxury. So what do you think? Can failure and hardship really be the building blocks of greatness? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the untold stories behind the biggest names in business.